the bong. First meal is done. Second course.
Okay, all right. Hello.
Yo. Yellow.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Friends Talk Gaming. Got the usual suspects. Izzle, Jesse, how you guys doing?
Yo.
Chillin'.
What's the word?
Ain't not much, except for 2K trying to rob people. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
What's going on? Talk to the people. What's going on?
So, I'm going to read a little excerpt from Yahoo Entertainment. It says, NBA 2K21 adds unskippable ads to the game, and fans are not happy. NBA 2K21 now has ads running during its pre-game loading screens. These ads, which have been added a month after the release of the game, cannot be skipped and even prevent players from editing their lineups before the match. So, 2K was one of the first companies to decide to change the price of games from $59.99 to $69.99 for new releases. And they're also one of the companies that's notorious for microtransactions, where I don't play 2K, so I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen people post online where you have to buy new uniforms, shoes, stadiums, stuff like that, for a game that you're already paying $60 for. And now they're adding advertisements before you go into the game. Can you imagine you're sitting for your game to load and you gotta watch a Coca-Cola ad after you paid $69 for it?
No, it's robbery, bro. You know, and this is, let me tell you what they're asking for right now. This is when the online gaming community really begins to see the gamesmanship. You know what I'm saying? Because PS5, we are going to have systems in place that make it more entertaining than who's got more money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're paying. I'm not complaining about the price. I'm not complaining about the price. Yeah. So what we really want is next gen gaming, not gamesmanship, not bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with the price of games going up $10. I mean, it's been at the price they've been at for, I think I was in high school.
It's been like almost like 10 years or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's been about 10 to 15 years since the prices have changed on games. And, you know, these companies spend a lot of money, man. It's like making a blockbuster Hollywood movie now. A lot of these games have, you know, 50,
then
60, $80 million budgets. But a game like 2K or Madden, where they're pretty much just changing the number on the box every year, I don't see how you pay $69.99 for that, then have to pay for in-game stuff, and then have to sit through ads while your game is loading. Like, where...
It's highway robbery, bro.
It's a cheap shot, yep. It's a slap in the face.
The problem is, though, it's like Madden is one of those popular games that people are going to continue to buy. So
right, so this is what I'm talking about. So this is what it is. They've kettled the gaming, the basketball gamers, especially the basketball gamers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is going to happen across platform. You know, what happens is once one person does it, once one system does it, like now it's free. You know, it's a free fall. You know, so you're going to see it in every game.
And that's what happened. They were the first ones to announce the $69.99 price point, and ever since then, every company after followed with $69.99 for next gen games. My issue is, again, paying that much and then having ads in the game. But then 2K they don't have any competition in the basketball arena.
Yeah.
Just like Madden. Madden's the only one that, you know, that has an NFL license, so they can do whatever they want.
because they bought all that because they bought all the other freaking football and basketball franchises out.
Right.
In the beginning of like ever since PS3, like we had
What was those other games? Still a thing?
Probably is, probably not, because I haven't seen anything from them in a minute.
Yeah, let me look that up.
But like it was a game. Oh, we had like a football game. I forgot what it was called, but it was a football game. We had like first person view. It was like
2K.
innovative.
There was 2K.
Yeah.
There was NFL 2K, and then there was Madden. So those were the two.
2K on Dreamcast was my shit. Bro.
Yeah.
It was NFL 2K, and it was like NBA 2K.
Right. So back then, there was that competition. And each year they both had to make, innovate somehow to make people want to come to their platform rather than the other. So it was a lot better back then. But now it's just Madden by themselves and NBA 2K. I'm looking online to see if NBA Live is still a thing. And I can't. Yeah, NBA Live 19. That was the last one. Which means that came out in 2008. 2018?
2018, yeah.
So, yeah, they probably bought it out. They probably bought the license out. So now if you want to play a basketball game, you have no choice but to pay $70, watch ads, and pay for microtransactions.
So, the question becomes, like, what are we as intelligent gamers, people who are aware of what's going on, to do? Like, how can we rebel? I'm a freedom fighter. I like to protest. I like to buck and say fuck 12. And when it comes to these video games, I'm no different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we've already surrendered the physical. I mean, look, we could fight for the CDs as much as we want. Really, what's gonna happen is inertia is gonna set in. We're gonna download them. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think download is gonna be the wave of the future. It's like streaming. I mean, when streaming was first a thing, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, but you don't own it. If you buy a DVD, you have it and it's yours." But then, do you want to get up and go look for a DVD, put it in the system, have to take it out, go through all that? So the downloadable games are going the same way.
Right, and Netflix was a great example, like you said. Like, I used to love getting the CDs. Like, I got the CD, but most people didn't really want the CD. They wanted just instant TV, instant. So when they have it now.
I remember buying video games back in the day was there was a whole process and a whole event to it. Like going to EB Games or GameStop, riding the bus, getting
pre-order, waiting online.
Yeah, opening the pack, reading the manual with the backstory and all that.
We don't even get that. Yeah, exactly. We don't even get a manual. I mean, that's the sad part.
When you buy a disc game now, you don't get the booklet says to come inside with them. All that stuff is gone.
See, but the funny thing about this is my point. So we've already surrendered the physicality, the physical part of the gaming process. And think about this. We're still paying the same price,
right,
without the physical product.
That is a major issue I have especially with the next gen games. If you're saving,
we shouldn't have to pay this. Yeah, we shouldn't have to pay a physical price because you're not buying nothing. Right. You're just buying the game. Physical price means like
shipping.
You're literally wasting money on basically making a plastic container to contain a disc where you have to basically pay for that shit and all the materials for that. You writing all the data on that stuff. That's even more labor.
And then they're paying out to the stores. So like
distributors.
Distributors at Best Buy, GameStop.
So they've cut all of that out, and more than that,
they need to cut most of it
out. They don't even need to there was a sort of production cost with getting all of that data out there, right? You'd have to put it on CDs. Remember that recording?
Right.
Now we're just making copies from the internet.
Right. Yeah.
So they don't even use the storage space anymore. They could literally just make one copy of the game, and everybody will copy it by themselves onto the system. So why are we still paying?
Well, they could do some sort of peer-to-peer download, I guess. Instead of having, if they're worried about their excuses trying to say, hey, well, we're paying for our service to host all the games and XYZ.
So here's my prediction. So as a rebel and a seer of the future, what's gonna happen? And I'm not saying it's gonna happen to Sony because I'm sure they're very smart. It's definitely gonna happen to Microsoft. We're gonna start hacking these fucking games, bro.
It's already being done on PC.
Games.
Yeah, it's being done on PC. People download copies of PC games all the time with no product key and none of that. So
definitely.
I think it's harder to do on the consoles because it's a closed environment unless you hack your console. But then the problem is, I remember with the PS3, people used to hack the PS3 and were able to download games from torrent sites. But the downside to that is you can't go online because the second Sony sees that your firmware does not match, they ban you. You can't go online.
Yeah.
So,
they track your IP and everything like that. That IP would never go online on Sony's servers.
I'm not the guy to do it, but there's a lot of cryptocurrency guys out there who can create closed loop systems and firewalls. I'm not the guy, but that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's it's like when are they gonna? It's like it's only a matter of time till they do that. But like, who's gonna have the time to actually implement those type of plans? To, like, try to go after just trying to get like free games and stuff like that. There's no fucking time to just sit there and implement all those ideas into the next generation. You guys sit there.
It would take time to build a system like that. By the time you probably get it to a point where it's running efficiently enough, it'll be another generation.
And it will be like, but like to like most hackers, it'd be like a waste of time. There's more important things you can sit there and go after.
Yeah, I mean, but these companies do need to, I don't know what
amp up the security. Amp up the security.
No, I'm talking about in terms of the cost of games. Yeah, you can't charge the same amount for a physical disc as you're charging for digital.
It's not right, and they've taken away all of the labor costs. So it's like I'm at Amazon, I'm in logistics. Like there's a cost for sending somebody to pick up a box and move it this way and put it down. There's no
That's
more.
That's not there anymore. Right. It's going directly into their pockets. Sony's not paying. Especially with their first party companies, they're not paying now any sort of dividend to another third party. Everything's coming directly to them.
Yeah, it's just so much more profit, year over year. Think about a game like Madden, where you're gonna have a set group buying it. Right. Literally, everybody who used to buy a physical box of Madden is now downloading it. They have to download it pretty much for PS5.
Well, so there is a disc version, but basically what it is with both the next, I think they're gonna make the digital versions of both the consoles more available to people.
I mean the digital version is cheaper, so those people.
Yeah, I think that the transition for the Xbox, I think they're gonna sell most of the disc versions first. They're gonna have a larger sales number of those because most people that buy a console at launch are gonna be hardcore gamers, like people that love technology, and so they're gonna want the best. They're gonna want the highest specs, the one with all the bells and whistles. So they'll probably not get the cheaper version. But I think as time goes on, when Microsoft and Sony see, hey, we can charge $70 for a digital download, let's put more of those boxes out there as opposed to the boxes where people can go buy a physical disc. I think that's going to be, going in, if there is a PlayStation 6 and Xbox, whatever they call it, those might definitely be
they literally can fluctuate the market with digital or copy consoles and then disc copy consoles if they want to. They can produce more, see which one is going to do more, start the production. This company really start the production of the disc versions to let the digital versions sell more. So people will have to be forced to get those digital versions. They can literally do that.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're gonna do. Like I said, starting off, they're gonna have the ones that people are the hardcore gamers more likely to buy, and then over a period of a year or two, transition to more of putting the digital ones out there. But talking about that, one other thing I wanted to talk about is the customization of the boxes themselves. You guys think it's a good idea for Sony to make it, because you can slip the side panels off the PS4, the PS5 to like customize it. So that means the special, what do you call it? The special edition consoles are pretty much toast. Like I don't think there's gonna be, especially on Sony's side, like special edition consoles. Like I think for PS4 we saw a bunch of them.
Unless they're gonna unless they reshape it, unless they reshape the whole console to another design.
Or maybe they could possibly, if you're buying a special edition of a game, sell you like the case with it, like the side, like you get panels. Like if you buy the digital version of the physical version of the game, and you buy like a special edition, you get like a God of War designed side panels, and you can swap those in and out.
Yeah, I think they'll innovate. They might design it in a way that makes it work. Something innovative that you can switch it up in. Who knows?
It might have a panel. It might be a panel with an extra fan on it or some shit like that. Sometime, like you could put another fan on the outside of the fucking panel just to basically keep it. I don't know. They will do that shit.
Speaking of the fan, so something came out today that the fan in the PS5 is going to be upgradable via software updates, which is the first time I've ever heard of that in a console.
The fan
basically has firmware updates.
So you can adjust an update for the system. They can change the way the fan runs, I guess, on a title by title basis. Because I think that's what they were. Their whole thinking and the way they built the PS5 was that they know the PS4 runs hot, so they basically built the PS5 in a way where they said they're gonna
adjust the temperature.
Yeah, constantly give it the same amount of power. That way they know, hey, this is how we have to adjust the fan at this time.
So if something's running wrong with it, they can basically adjust all the PS5s.
They can
anticipate the moment. It's basically like I would hate to say this and give it to reference, but it's like the same way you will basically run a starship or whatever like that, or an airplane. Like you can compensate for.
It's like Star Trek.
Compensate for,
give me all power to the shields.
Like give me more power to the shields. Give me more power to the half engines and stuff like that. That's how they basically trying to do it. And stuff like that. And I feel like, but I like I said, it's they should do it. Like all consoles should have that. All freaking systems should have that. Like give the user more more active, basically be able to control their own systems, like the cooling, the processing and stuff like that. How much graphics you want to put into streaming a game, whatever like that.
Right.
Like the console should be able to do that off rip. That way, like if we were basically streaming or something like that, we can basically control everything from the console and from our PCs if we're doing like any add-ons or anything like that. Make it more accessible.
Right.
Easier for us to use it.
Well, I was hoping when they showed the UI, they were gonna kind of go more into the create button that they have on the PS5, because I was thinking maybe that's something they would. Because I said before, the streaming on the PS4, the built-in streaming sucks. That shit is horrible. So I'm hoping they kind of have some kind of integration with Twitch or YouTube or whatever it is, and they can make it easier and more streamlined to be able to stream your games. Because like right now when we go stream PUBG, I got move the PS4, connect it to another monitor, plug this in, capture card here, do this, do that, and it's like too much. But I got to give it to Sony. They were they kind of innovated with the PS4, and they saw it coming. The whole game streaming, sharing thing with the share button that they added to the controller by default.
Fact. And I mean, we can, all of us, right, in this generation, like me, you, Jesse, Frank, Gio, all of us are gonna complain about what we have, but the next generation and the generation after this, bro. I mean, we basically laid the foundation for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We suffered and complained this to reality. You know what I'm saying? PS5 is like the bookend, it's the cap. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think, like, after because really, man, between PS4 and PS5, I mean, I'm expecting to see a graphical jump, but I think with anything after the PS5 and the Xbox is coming out, right, the Series X, I don't know how much more they can do, like with just graphics. With just, trying to make stuff look pretty and, performance. Like, they're going to have to innovate and, add something else. And I don't know if VR is going to be, the next big thing, but I feel like it's going to stagnate after this next gen.
I would say, so much of current technology is based on the sci-fi of the past. You know what I'm saying? So we can look towards the sci-fi of the present to what's gonna be. And I think Sony gets that. That's why they made the design like so space age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think just the design. Some people don't understand the aesthetics. The aesthetics lead to the reality. Even though it's like it seems impossible, that thing is flying in the middle of a fucking room.
Yeah, it just stands out. I mean, when you look at the streams from that the Japanese bloggers did, and you could see like the actual physical, because that was like the first time we actually saw the physical machine. Like everything we saw before,
big device too.
Yeah, but everything we saw before then was renders in 3D, 3D renders of it. But to like actually see it on the desk, it's somebody playing it. It's huge, number one, but it just stands out. It like just looks like it's not of this time. Like a portal just opened up on that desk right there, and something came out of it.
Exactly. It was like,
well, I mean,
that's what we were left with.
Hey, what's this?
There's some things I felt like just personally that were left on the table. Like, I always thought that the PS5 and a handheld device should have gone together. I was expecting that. I know Jesse laughed at me, but I expected the controller to be a PSP. That's what I expected.
We've been thinking that for a long time.
No, I always expected like this part of the touchscreen would be a screen.
That's what I
always wanted that. I was like, it's just like a little mini screen, but it wouldn't be that bulky. And so I feel like ever since I looked at it, I was like, if you would have put a screen right here, it would be bulky. You would basically have an Xbox controller. You'd be sitting like this.
I think the thing they're thinking about too is the battery life. Because if you have a screen on, a controller like that, the battery life is going to suffer. Then you have to worry about
the battery
cost.
life is already life is already suffering on a new controller, son.
This is what it comes down to, and I mean, this is the reality of it. And I posted this. I know you guys saw the post too. Cell phones cost more than systems. You know what I'm saying? So Sony is making a smart business decision to separate the two. Because if they did that, if they put a screen in the controller, it would become a cell phone. That's what would have happened. It would just be a cell phone.
They have, and this is the crazy thing, is Sony, like I think now when people think about Sony, you think about TVs, PlayStation, and cameras. Right? That's probably the three main things that Sony's known for. But they have a mobile department.
Yeah.
They do make mobile phones. Yeah. They do make mobile phones. They make laptops. And it's just so weird to me why they always fail at integrating their mobile side with the rest of their technology, with the rest of their brand. Because if you look at companies like Samsung, LG, even Apple to some extent, they make it so that your phone can connect to your TV. Your laptop can connect to your phone. If you have a Samsung phone, a Samsung laptop, you can connect the two. If you have a Samsung TV, you can connect everything. Everything's integrated.
Yep.
Sony has the PlayStation. Then you have mobile phones that you make. People love gaming on mobile, and for some reason they do such a crappy job of melding these two things together and integrating the two technologies.
I mean, some of it is...
I wouldn't say that, because I definitely had a Sony phone.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Sony phone, and I had a Sony camera. And the NF, I had the little NF chip inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Like any of my Sony, like when I had the Sony product, I would just sit there and just tap it.
Mm-hmm.
Links automatically.
Right, but how long ago was that?
That was like last year.
See,
it literally works it literally works and stuff like that. But now, when I use it with other products, now I have like a Samsung phone,
mm-hmm.
and I try to use that same technology and stuff like that. I have to fiddle with it a little bit.
Right.
Like, it's not the same. It's not the same as I would do with like another Sony product. Like,
mm-hmm.
I would have to cause I have even same thing with my camera. It does not do the same thing. Like, I had to fiddle with it, try to get some adjust it to a certain point where I have it, and then boom, it will work.
I just posted a link to the Xperia 1 2.
Right, that's one of the phones that just came out.
Yeah,
this shit is a G, bro.
It is. It is.
Yeah, they have expensive ass phones.
Expensive shit. And the thing is, they don't really market in the U.S. They're bigger towards in Europe and Japan.
Asia.
But even then, I saw something that said they have like 0.1% of the mobile market, which is absolutely terrible. Because if you think about it, Sony makes so many parts that go into other companies' cell phones. So like the cameras on Apple devices are made by Sony.
This camera's lit. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah. So some of their screens, some of their OLED screens are put in other products. So they sell all these parts to all these other companies, but they can't put it together in one of their own products. I mean,
that's funny. That's funny because I'm a big camera buff. Like that's a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I focus on like the megapixel range, which I feel like we've gotten away from in modern cell phone techs. Everybody's name brand. We don't realize how low quality, like 60 megabytes. Don't get me wrong. Those are really quality pictures, but but I'm on like the A71, 64 megapixels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's and so when I look at some of the tech that goes into like iPhone, people get shortchanged, man. They're getting really fucking shortchanged, man. And they paying big money. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, now they're telling you can't have a charger with your phone.
Come on, man. So Gucci put out some name brand clothes that say fake, not fake. But it basically says fake on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that we as a society have to do is stop letting these mega corporations shortchange us. You know what I'm saying? They got the bread. They've been bleeding us for years.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta demand that they give us the goods.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's why I'm not giving anybody my money, man.
Saying
like Madden, 2K, all those big companies. I'm not.
All this microtransactions.
I think the human race is just getting greedy altogether.
I think this year we hit a kind of
a wall,
a plateau.
A ceiling.
We got to I think
that's
it's going to trend downwards,
like,
because if you look at the last couple of years with just technology in general, like especially
for the past since the Y2K began all the way up until now, it's basically just been this just so much information that we haven't been able to process most of it and just take it all and stuff like that. So now it got to a point where it's just like it just hit a wall. It's like it's like a pipe when you don't release the pressure in the pipe. That's exactly what happens.
I don't know. I think it's just, especially this year, I think people, because of the coronavirus and people being home and people losing their jobs and stuff.
Yeah, put everything into check.
Yeah, people are kind of noticing now that, because I one thing I did notice online, like, people that are usually hyped for stuff, like every time Apple says, oh, the new iPhone's coming out, everybody's like, oh, man, new iPhone, I gotta get that, Everything I've seen online, people are kind of like, meh. Why should I upgrade from my iPhone 11?
Like, I saw the best meme I saw about it was like this old Mexican dude who had like a lumberjack shirt and he got a present. It was a lumberjack shirt, the same color and everything.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It was like iPhone 11.
I saw that one. Yeah, it was like iPhone 12, iPhone 11. I saw that one. Yeah. I think we're at a point now where a lot of these companies either have to do some crazy innovations to continue to justify trying to charge people the amount they're charging them, or they're gonna go out of business, man. Because honestly, bro, why are you spending $1,300 on an iPhone? For what?
For real.
For what? Like,
it does the same thing as all your other devices.
Same thing. And that whole
you don't really need to do that, son. You look, the company is basically wasting a spendable amount of resources on just trying to entertain you. Number one,
dude, you know how much they probably.
They don't really need to do that shit, son. They could spend resources on any other thing besides trying to keep the freaking people entertained. But people want to sit there and want to have that latest thing. And it's a sad thing about society. We don't need the shit that we need. We need to basically focus on the shit that's gonna help us in the long run, son.
It's find happiness through materialism.
Yeah,
outside
that's just not working. It's not. It hasn't been working for thousands of years. While we still continuing this shit, son. I can understand having certain things that's gonna benefit our sanity or whatever like that. Right now, we use the PlayStation. PlayStation is kind of it's not a necessary object that we need.
Of course not.
But for right now,
can I tell you something that I really enjoy about Sony though? And this is where everything comes full circle. Because what the Japanese and I feel like Sony and a lot of the new age gaming organizations realized is that we can lose our soul in technology or we can find it, and every time I'm stressed out or something like that, I'm always tempted to just turn on the PS4. And you know what happens when you just turn on the PS4? You get that calming blue light and that very calming melody. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's an escape for people.
I could literally just turn the PS4 on and just
listen to the sound. Yeah.
No, seriously, bro. And I think that aesthetic has value in this kind of age, bro.
Well, I think Microsoft and Sony did a really good job of reading the room pretty much and realizing that it's been a tough year for people because they could have easily priced these things at $600-700. Nobody would have blamed them. Nobody would have, everybody would just, said, oh well, it's inflation, cost of, stuff is going up.
They would have had a slow.
We lost that episode, bro. I wish we had that lost episode where we were talking about the pricing and everything. Bro. I don't remember. I was so blasted that day, but we had made all these predictions about what happens.
Yeah, it's still on there. I think that was our first episode.
The first episode, we hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, we did.
So I gotta go back and watch that and see what they're doing. Yeah, because I remember the game.
Yeah, they I think they did a good job with reading the room because like I said, it could have easily have been 6, 7, 8. People were even at one point saying $800 for the amount of technology that's packed into the machines. But they did a good job with that. So a little bit of what we were talking about a second ago. This is gonna get a little.
I'm already, so let's go.
Yeah, the whole thing about humans and constantly wanting that next tiny upgrade to technology. I've always thought about this shit for a long time. I just think that first off, it's just part of us that we're especially with like artificial intelligence and all that, we're building our successors. I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. We're going to build the next iteration of what?
Our God.
Awaken the devil.
I think it's more like
summoning the devil.
Yeah, I don't want to say
basically
like that
we're gonna build our own damn nation. That's what's gonna happen.
That shit.
And it's either gonna be a learning moment, or it's gonna be a learning moment. And we're gonna basically build it and then have to destroy it, and then we're not gonna like the results. That's what it's gonna come to.
Yeah.
And either that, or we already have built it, and we have to destroy it now.
I was thinking more
because I feel like the system that we already built.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the system that we already built in a case. Demon. Yeah, we already basically summoned the demon. We already at the precipice, like where we have to basically destroy something. It's not artificial intelligence. It's like more of a. It's an intelligence that's been plaguing the world for so long. And then we keep repeating. It's like it's history. You look at history. The Romans went through it. All the ancient civilizations went through this shit. Every civilization went through it. It's fucking politics.
What is Facebook? What is Instagram? What is Twitter? Is that not AI, bro? Who runs Twitter? Who runs Facebook? It's not Mark Zuckerberg.
It's not like there's people sitting there every second, just thinking, when you type something on there, it's a program.
So the program construct has already been built.
Here's what I'm saying.
And it's basically pointing us into a direction where we have to basically.
All right. So let me just finish my thought for a second. So basically, what it is when I said I think we're building our replacements or moving towards, pretty much building our replacements. I think like in the same way we're always like, well, where did we come from? Where did humanity come from? Where did all this shit start? Where did it begin? If we get to the point where we're close, Siri, Google, any of those AIs become sentient, and let's just say we decide, hey, things are looking kind of bleak for Earth. We're running out of resources. Let's send one of these AIs to.
Can you help us?
To Mars.
Can you help us?
No, let's just send them to Mars. Send them to Venus. Send them to the next closest galaxy.
Okay, right? Google, go get me a beer. That's how it's gonna happen.
She's gonna slap you.
Yeah, that's slavery. That's
right. And then they get there. Let's just say they get to Andromeda. They land on the planet. Their job is to now start creating a society, terraforming for us to eventually get there. If we never make it, and then it starts reproducing, and over time that planet becomes populated, years down the line, do those AIs have the same thoughts that we did? Where did we come from? How did we get here? How did this happen? Because they're starting off a new life.
Branch.
Then they get to their point where they can't be on that planet anymore, and they have to send something off or find some way to get to a new branch. And that's just how light spreads across the universe.
But that would mean that that would be that's deep. Because the only thing I could sit there and say is the only problem with that is that we're biological form. There will probably be something of a
no. So that's the thing. what the AI would need to have some sort of form to be able to, and every sci-fi movie you see, what they try to do with robots. They try to make them look as human as possible.
As human as possible and stuff like that. They have to basically, the only energy they can use is basically either biomatter or some type of an unlimited amount of energy.
Right. And I'm sure you've heard this shit about maybe aliens came down here and took DNA from monkeys and spliced this and spliced that and they made humans, and I don't know if you ever heard that shit.
Yeah, everybody has heard that story, but I was like, that's not the story I'd like to believe. I don't know why. I was like, I don't like to believe that. I like to basically sit there and like, they've been doing this for fucking years. It's like, this planet is basically like a test subject for them, like a gas station.
You mean for like aliens?
Aliens, yeah. They just come here all the time. Yeah, they're just migrating people to different planets or whatever like that. Or taking samples of what they need to learn.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure they look at our planet as one of the most hostile planets. They look at it like,
I don't even think they see it as hostile. They just see it as probably something that's not that interesting. It's like us walking down the street. Neil deGrasse Tyson said, if you're walking down the street and you see an ant on the side of the road, you don't stop to have a conversation with it because you're far superior to the ant. So for all those UFOs and shit that people are promising,
I can
and
say
people are always like, so why don't they come down and talk to us and say blah 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 blah?
But people always talk to them like people always talk to them
yeah,
true.
You're not at that level.
People talk to animals all the time though.
Yeah, but you're not having an actual conversation. You're not having like a.
And they're not gonna talk back to you, but you just looking in the eyes and
we both talked about some pretty far fetched stuff. I want to talk about some of my far fetched ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been operating for about the past 2 years in the idea of a multiverse, but not just. I told you about this, Jesse. Not just any multiverse, but like infinite multiverses, which basically means total control of reality. So, understanding your position in the center of the multiverse should allow you to move to any multiverse that you desire, because you pretty much know that anything is possible. That's why they say fortune favors the bold. They say fortune favors the bold. So, in a universe where every time you die, you actually wake up again. You could live.
So it's pretty much like what was that movie with Jet Li?
The one, right? Exactly.
The one,
exactly. So basically, you become a certain version now. You're still bound by physics and time. So time is also a construct.
So there's different versions of yourself, but all linked to the same energy source.
Right.
Yeah, and when one version goes away, the energy goes back. Or
when
one version dies.
So we were talking about this actually just before we started this live, me and Jesse. So also, I think that appreciation for the multiverse also is an appreciation for mortality. So in this world, first of all, by the way, this reality that we're in right now is the reality TV universe. And that lines up perfectly with like everything. It's the reality TV universe. It's everything like from The Simpsons to like Donald Trump, like coronavirus, Cardi B news, and everything. Right? You know what I'm saying? But also in this universe, you have rampant mortality, like people dying a lot. And so what I was talking to Jesse about is like a lot of people get so discouraged by life. They're so depressed, they're so sad because they're expecting to live to 110, 120. People want to live up there. I've already accepted my death at around 65. So for me, this is like bliss right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, having control over your infinite versions of yourself also allows you to appreciate every second that you have. So, it's far-fetched shit, right?
Yeah, but no, okay. So, some similar to that. Me and Sarah we didn't really get too deep into it. We have before, but just during last week, she mentioned on the radio they were talking about simulation theory. That everything we're doing right now is just a simulation. We're all just jacked into the computer, or playing out our life.
I keep thinking that too. I'm like, son, like, what if this is like a real ass hologram or some shit like that?
My question is, I asked her, say it is a simulation, then what? How does that change? Wake up, does that change your day-to-day life? Does that change?
No, I feel like if you basically I feel like you wake up in a fucking chain. Like it could be a number of things. Like, what if you just basically wake up in a chamber?
No, I'm saying, let's just say simulation theory is real. Would that change you right now? Like, let's just say you see a glitch in the Matrix and you're like, oh, this is a simulation. Would you wake up and be a totally different Jesse?
I guess not, unless I wake up. If you wake up from the program, or you wake up
if you
back
just wake up, you're still in the simulation.
You're still in the simulation.
You're just now aware that you're in the simulation.
The simulation. I don't fucking know, because I'll be sitting there. I'll be too scared to basically. That's the fear factor. You be too afraid to change anything of your normal routine. Afraid that something is like watching you and making sure that you basically still on course of the program.
Is that the end of the simulation? Do you wake up? You just unlock?
No, I think
that life didn't go that good.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with lucid dreaming. You don't want to make. It's the same thing with lucid dreaming. When I lucid dream, and I lucid dream a lot, I could be like in a school, and I could have everybody I know in it. Like I could have yacht in it and whatever like that. And I will basically just sit there and go along with it and stuff like that. And then shit start getting once it start getting weird. Like I got caught through air vent, like I'm in Metal Gear or some shit like that. That's when I'll be like, all right, the fucking dream is playing me along and stuff like that. So now it's gonna start getting dangerous. That's when you're like I start looking at I don't know. It's something about signs that I could just sit there and see in certain things. It's the same thing in my dream.
Control over your dream.
Yeah, exactly. When you start you're losing the control of the dream. Mm-hmm. You find yourself basically, I can control this, that, and this, that, and the third of my life, and stuff like that. But then when you start realizing that you can control certain things, you want to control it, and it veers you off course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that bro. In my multiverse theory,
it's like a side quest that you don't need to complete.
Place during sleep. So essentially, the deep meditation I've trained myself to do puts me into a catatonic state. And what that does is it allows you to basically function without time. It's hibernation for the body and the mind. So what you just experienced to me, first of all,
that's lucid dreaming.
How do you do that? Teach me that trick.
Son, it's not that hard, son. Everybody thinks it's that hard. But my thing is, when I do it, number one, this is why I don't get a lot of good sleep or whatever like that. You have to sacrifice a lot of sleep for that shit. Number one, and especially at nighttime. I do it. No, you have to know how to time it. So, if you go to sleep, say if you go to sleep early, you want to basically wake up in the middle of the night. Even if you like it could be 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Wake up in the middle of the night. Especially if you don't have nothing to do the next day, wake up in the middle of the night. Try to basically, remember what your day was about, or you can watch a little TV show, read a book, whatever like that. To go back to sleep. Once that happens, once you start going back to sleep, you ever notice how you've been inside REM sleep and you feel like you can't move and shit like that? That's basically the space going between your dream and basically being asleep. So when you have that physical paralyzation, and you feel like somebody's over you or some shit like that, that's basically like, you know, yeah, your dream is you're trying to slip into the dream state.
It's like
you gotta basically gotta like you gotta learn how you gotta learn your own sleep pattern to basically fall asleep to that shit. You gotta basically block that shit out of your mind. Like sometimes I will basically sit there literally and sleep on my back. So most of the time I sleep on my stomach, but I'll sleep on my back if I want to like do lucid dreaming or whatever like that. I'll sleep on my back and just literally just sit there, close my eyes, and just force myself to sleep. And then I'll wake up in like basically a place where I will remember from either my reality or a place in my dreams. And I have multiple places in my dreams from my childhood that's still there. Like I can remember like a place that's like I can remember to just go back to, and like I have like a place that's like it looks like Picken Ave. Like it looks literally like Picken Avenue, but it's like nothing but like restaurants and arcades all through the down the street and stuff like that. And I will literally go there and like walk around, and I will see like people that I know. I will see like you, Shane, or whatever like that, and I was like, oh, what up, stuff like that, and stuff like that. And everybody be doing something different. But like if I don't keep focused on that, how like the excitement and everything is, and I turn down a different block and go through a door or whatever like that, boom, I'll just jump right into a different headspace or whatever like that, and I'm like, all right, I fucked up somewhere, and now I got to get out of this situation and stuff like that. Then it was like the dream will start turning itself, and it's like it's kind of fucked up, but you have to learn how to like utilize it. Like it's like I forgot what was that movie that they did where they did that same thing? Is it Inception?
Inception.
Yeah. It was like I kept going through a different dream. Here, boom. Well, every time I locked through, I went through another loophole and stuff like that. And I had to keep remembering this is a dream.
Right. Let me tell you something. Let me help you with your next lucid dream, okay? The synapses of the brain mimic the cosmic connections of the universe, and each of those synapses is a wormhole. And actually, what you just described is a perfect mirror of an anomaly that takes place when you go through a wormhole. You go from a very friendly, kind place, like I'm in now. See, I decided to be here in this kind place, and then you slip into some other chaotic place which you did not desire to be. It's actually, by nature, almost the opposite, or at least a very different way.
So this is exactly why when I lucid dream, I try to find certain doors. There's certain doors and certain things that's in the dream that can basically lead you to certain things.
So when we talk about time travel, right? The reason that sleep is the more into time travel is because there's no conception of time. Like what I was going to tell you is, if you really enjoy your lucid dream, like you're in that kind of place, stop worrying about time. As soon as you start worrying about time, as soon as you start thinking about time, immediately kick it back into that one-on-one. So that's what
you have a dream where you feel like you're in there for days
too long,
time, and you wake up and then you sleep for like 20 minutes.
That's Inception, you know what I'm saying? Because in your mind, that's the most clear evidence of the multiverse right there. You can literally have a 1 hour.
If you can give her the time in your head and you go to sleep, you can basically, that shit can last as long as you want to.
You can have
until your body decides to wake up. Until your body says like, yo, it's time to take a shit.
Videos on people that do shit like DMT and stuff.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, me and Iz watched that. Remember we watched that freaking thing on DMT? That was years ago. We watched that shit, and that's when it got me into. I was like, all the shit that I read and stuff like that. Now, like, I watched that DMT movie. I was like, son, that's when I started thinking about the whole lucid dreaming, connecting to certain things. You like, I was saying like, all right, and then like I started making so many connections after that, after watching that, and comparing it to lucid dreaming, and comparing it to so many other things. I was like, yo, everything has this fucking connection.
You gotta be careful now, right? Because in my version of the multiverse, talk about time travel, you can have a lucid dream and slip into a young version or older version of yourself. All right, and that's very important to remember, man. So one thing I want to tell you guys.
So what if it has already happened?
It is a choice. I think that you have to remember that every time you go to sleep, God might not wake you up. Remember that? We always say that. You may not wake up.
This is crazy, right? I'm gonna tell y'all something that a long ass time ago. And I still feel like I remember when I was, I don't know my exact age. I was below 8. I was definitely younger than 8. But I remember reading this book, right? And it was talking about the different.
Come on. I was like, you know, you're going to cut half of this stream, right?
No, that should say it was only 58 minutes. I was reading this book, and it was right the night before my birthday, and it just so happened to be that the book was talking about like lunar cycles, and the night before my birthday, which was December 10th, happened to be the longest night of that year. So in my head, before I went to sleep, as a kid, I was like, man, this night is going to be so long. Like, it's going to feel like forever till I wake up for my birthday. Alright? In my adult life, there have been times where I've gone to sleep and I dream, and in my dream, I see my younger self sleeping, and I'm pretty much not talking to myself, but I'm telling myself, dude, you're dreaming about your whole life right now. So like everything I've done from that night I went to sleep up until like this point right now has all been like a dream. Like I'm still sleeping during that long night for my birthday, and I'll have this dream like every few years.
Yeah, every few months.
Dream.
Yeah.
Like it'll just out of nowhere. Like I'll see my younger self and I'll be like, dude, you're still asleep. But you can see how you're looking at how your whole life is going to play out. And then when you wake up, you'll know everything is going to happen to you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I have dreams that basically I'm running through a maze, but it's also like, it feels like South Shore. You know how South Shore, the field house South Shore used to be?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll go to certain hallways and stuff like that, and zigzag and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like in my dream, it'll be like the same thing. But imagine like it'll be this one building. Just be like, imagine it was like probably like a good 100 floors or some shit like that. And now I could be just running through it and stuff like that, and we just be like, just doing different things and stuff like that. But I wouldn't realize it's like is this a school or is it a hotel or is it this? Mm-hmm. And it keeps reshaping itself. And stuff like that. And then when I really get outside, that's when the real danger starts to happen in my dream. If I get outside, it'd be like, nigga, the building was keeping you protected this whole fucking time. You wanted to sit there, you want to go outside now and stuff like that. Yo, like I start seeing like, yo, I had one dream where I was like,
fucked up, homie.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I went outside and I was like, first of all, it was 2 cops that stopped me.
Oh,
in the dream.
Oh,
exactly,
no.
son. It went whole left. I was like, it was 2 cops that stopped me, and I was like, where you stopped me? And they was like questioning me. I was like, and then they just like left me alone. Went inside the store, got what I had to got, and they was like watching me. So I'm like, why are these niggas watching me? So I went, walked down the block in my dream, and then once I seen this certain area that I always notice in my dream, I was like, fuck. Son, I was like, immediately I wanted to just turn around and run in the opposite direction. It's always something like these little apartment buildings. Like it look like the projects, but the houses is smaller. And I would call that in the projects. In my mind, I'll call that the project. So I would sit there and see that. I was like, I can't go through there because if I go there, niggas is gonna fucking jump me, fold me, whatever. I'm gonna have to fight my way through that goddamn shit. So I always try to avoid it. So I try to go, I was like, instead of me going backwards, I'm gonna just keep going, get down the block and try to get to where I'm going. Try to find everywhere, find my friends. I'm going down the block and I see somebody pull up with a motorcycle and start shooting down the block. I'm like, oh fuck. Immediately I look up, I'm at a corner store and the same cops that was like saw me and stuff like that. He was like, "Oh, you out here shooting and shit?" I'm like, "Oh fuck!" So I start running in the dream, and that's the worst thing you could do in a fucking dream, son.
You never run.
Is run, never run. It's like I'm saying, like I start running, I'm booking it down the street and stuff like that. All of a sudden, I look at my hand and there's a fucking gun. I'm like, oh! I turn around, I start firing back. I go down the block. And I'm running through the same projects I said that I wasn't gonna go down. I'm running through them shits. I'm running already through them, and stuff like that. So everybody's outside. They like having barbecues and shit like that, having a good old time. They like, what's going on? Somebody's shooting. I'm just sitting there running and stuff like that. And I get to another corner store where this guy, the same guy that was shooting at from the bike, he's already like he has the bike sitting there, and he goes inside the store. 2 cops come out and see me with the bike. They was like, oh, it's you. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm sitting there like. I literally jumped out the bed. I was like, I'm sitting like,
you living your past life, bro.
That's traumatic shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting like, that was all when like, that was like, I think that would happen. I had that dream like before. It was like last year. It was before all the Floyd Mayweather shit happened. I was like, yo, son, I can't stand dreams that I have like when I'm just sitting there getting harassed or shot by the cops, son. And every time I be seeing that shit on TV, I'd be like. I'll be sitting like, damn, son. I'm like, yo.
It sounds like a traumatic dream, man. So I gave up my fear of death. I think 3 years ago, and I haven't really been too frightened in my dreams. But what I will tell you is my perception of time it waves. Like so. Like, if I got a day coming up, like today I had court and shit, they could like put me under. Last night was fucking raw. It was like, oh shit. Man, short. It was like, yo, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow's the night. You know what I'm saying? Everything was like fast paced.
I think this whole freaking year has been like that though.
Well,
it's kind of basically. This whole year has been like a little bit fast paced than normal time, and I think that has something to do with our solar system right now. Like it's going through they said they was like our solar system, sun is going through a new cycle.
Fast and long at the same time.
Yeah, and like we're not actually like right now we're basically going through that because we're not getting our seasons is not changing how we used to normally to perceive it. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, that
how
has
you like
a little something to do with this fake
climate
news,
change.
Climate change. Oh, it's so fake. It's made up by fairy scientists.
Like,
yeah, it's happening.
That shit, son. Fuck that, son. The fucking like. There was one year that at around this time we had got freaking snow. That was like a sign right then and there.
Yeah, it was a
we literally got snow in October one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, that's not a sign for the doubters. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
And they're not gonna be happy. We're frogs in the boiling water.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost too late.
It's warming up.
I don't want to be a frog in the water. I don't want to be that person.
Yeah, man.
I'd rather be the frog that's sitting there like outside the counter looking like why not hopping out?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why, apart from all the other shit, we gotta make sure old boy gets the fuck out. Cause
so I'm saying, man,
it's not
you got
future.
Gotta start building a nice little future. We can't be. It's already
No,
over for our
let me
future.
tell
We
you
gotta
what's
build a
gonna
future
happen.
for the
Let me tell you
kids.
what's
That's
gonna
what we need to build a
Tell you
future.
what's gonna happen. So if he is as fascist as we know he is, he's gonna steal the election, bro. He's gonna steal the election. It's already set up for him to steal. Let me tell you why it's set up for him to steal. Because we already know we're not gonna have a victor on the election night.
Yeah,
so he's gonna stay in power.
Months.
So he's gonna stay in power. Then he's gonna be like, it's kind of like when you kind of slip the head in a little bit. Kind of like what they did for me in. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe I'm in already. You know what I'm saying? So,
Son, I was sitting there saying like, if Biden wins, no, if Biden doesn't win, are the people that's going for Biden, are they going to go to civil war like the people that's going to like
No,
claim?
No.
Here's the thing. The other thing
This is what I'm saying. Like,
it's gonna come down to this: who's willing to fight in the streets?
exactly. That's why I keep saying like, who's willing to fight in the streets if it comes down to that? And I'm saying like I don't
That's
see.
the question.
Exactly, because
I said what I said, bro. Because these Trumpites, people who support Trump, have guns.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
they want to fight. They literally want to fight, son. They don't want to. They don't even want to. They don't even care if Donald Trump gets like elected. They want to fight, son.
America for there to be
exactly for the longest.
Or
since the Civil War, they want
to war against some tyrannical foe that everybody can play. Captain.
Yep,
Commando.
that's exactly what I was saying. Like,
bro, just
America, the Earth needs a actual enemy to point our hate towards. That's exactly what it needs.
Mark my words, okay? You hear me?
Yeah.
We are living in the reality TV
I'll tell you
universe.
What the enemy is. Earth gave it to us. It's a freaking virus.
What is that?
Killing all the old folk, killing all sick people, and
what is that?
This should have been the unifying.
I'm trying to guess this picture.
Oh, the picture. That should have been the unifying driving force for the world to come together to figure out, to figure out what, how to get over this thing, unified. But
like I said,
we got in charge
a long time ago. We already been through 6 civilizations on this earth. We're gonna go through a 7th civilization extinction sooner or later.
People who vote for Biden, not just you, not just me, not just Jesse. People who vote for Biden will not want the war to fight with the Trumpites.
No,
we'll be like, let them have it.
Yeah, because it's not.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Nothing good is
4 more years. 4 more years.
Nothing good comes from it. It's like, what the fuck?
A lot of people are paid off already. I don't know if you realize how many people have been paid off. Have been paid off with unemployment, Trump checks. People got Trump phones.
What is that? This man came out on TV today and said he called up the owners of GM and was like, "Hey, I need $25 million for my campaign. I hear you're trying to get this permit passed." Like, the president of the United States said that shit on live TV. Like, hey, bro, let me get 25 mil and I'll get those permits through for you. And the crazy thing is, that's not even the wildest shit this man has done. It's like everything he does is they just let it. It's just
because I don't think.
That's
could it be
like, dude,
because no other president?
Years, man, we're gonna be fucked. 4 years of not having to worry about being reelected. He's gonna go off, man.
My worry is about like the. I worry about basically people that's going to suffer from no, I worry about people that's going to be suffering from like the food stamp food stamps, the Section 8, all those people that are those are the people that's going to really suffer, because if he starts taking from them, like, why take from those fucking things if you could take from so many other things, like the military doesn't have the budget it needs to be right now. Huh?
America, man. This is what this country is, bro. Take from the poor.
Like, you don't need to take from those the people that need it. You need to take from the people that don't
take
need it.
Take from the poor and give to the rich.
Yeah, that's been it, bro. Came here and fucked over the Native Americans, slavery, and that's it. That's the premise. That's the foundation. It's not gonna It's not gonna change, man. Just gotta roll with the punches, bro.
So
And that's
to be
exactly
honest
why
with
people
you,
don't understand about this whole fucking election and shit too.
to be
Like
honest with you,
they
so
don't understand that black. They be sitting like, oh, Black Lives Matter, like we don't. Black Lives Matter doesn't even want to be an organization. It was just a message to say like, oh, the country is fucked up. Admit what the country is. Admit what y'all are. And stuff like that. Hey,
Not
get over
happening,
it.
bro.
That's what we want. That's what we really want. And stuff like that. Like, come on, son. Y'all not playing fair by the fucking rule, the rule book that just set out to play. And now y'all getting fucking beat down for it. And y'all don't like
so
it.
if y'all really want to talk about AI, you want to talk about autonomous action. So really, what we're fighting when we talk about fight, we're fighting the autoimmune defenses of the racist system, because all of the legal arms, the executive branch arms, FBI, CIA, all of those, Homeland Security, all of those branches of government are basically put in place by racist people, and they're designed to keep the status quo. They defend exactly what it is. They
It
defend
has to stay the same.
what things are. They want these specific things in place, and if you attack these specific things,
It's gonna be
you're
a
the enemy.
problem. Yeah. Yeah.
So long as listen. I mean, you talk about burn it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never really been a fan of burn it down, bro. I keep it 1,000. I don't like the idea that I'm a reformist. I don't feel like I'm a reformist. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a revolutionary, because like so much of burning it down doesn't apply to me. Like, I'm not burning down my neighborhoods, bro. You stupid.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people talk about burning it down, but they're from like Florida and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're from fucking Wisconsin. It's like, okay, go burn your shit down. You know what I'm saying? They want to come to New York and burn shit down. I'm of the mindset, like, I feel like, and I've said this multiple times, like, I feel like we're unearthing fresh and fertile ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ground here to grow. Most of the shit that we built nowadays is outdated anyway. So I'm not saying burn it down, but a lot of shit got to be demolished. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be demolished.
Needs to be rebuilt, man. It needs to be rethought and everything. The country, this country especially. I mean, a lot of the world is doing it. Well, a lot of the world is not in the position that America is in, where they can make changes or they can afford to make changes.
But some countries have already been doing it, like you
There
said.
are plenty of countries that have made moves to either protect the environment, to take care of their people, to do that type of stuff. And for some reason in this country, we're just at a point where people care more about the stock market than they do about the livelihood of people. If the stock market goes up 500 points tomorrow and Timmy still doesn't have food to eat on his table for like 5 days in a row, people are gonna applaud the stock market and be like, oh, America's the greatest country in the world. Some reason, not everybody, but the country has been tricked into believing when the stock market does good, America does good. And I keep asking people on Twitter, or I was asking people, and I realize you're never going to get an answer from people that have their beliefs are going to just stick to it no matter what you're I keep asking people, what is a country? When you say shit like NFL players are disrespecting the flag, they're disrespecting the country. Is the country a flag, or is the country its people?
So,
is the country its government, or is it the people that make up the country?
There's a big, I gotta be honest with you, bro, like,
physical land, or is it the people?
So, I mean, there's an answer, there's a political answer to that question, but bro, there's something else that I was thinking about while you said this. This is a very touchy subject for me. I'm starting to feel personally attacked by the Blue Lives Matter flag. Like I'm developing a phobia about it, like some type of like almost like a PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I see the Blue Lives Matter flag, I think of the person supporting police brutality. Like I definitely have aligned the two in my head.
Let me give you one better, bro. Let me give you one better. I feel threatened when I see too many American flags in one place. I'm not even joking. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
It's gotten to the point where I feel like there's a certain group of people
surrounding your house
made the American flag supposed to stand for their ideal. Like when you look at these videos of, you know, Trump supporters and, you know, people like that would be, you know, flags and shit behind their cars. It's always big American flag and Trump 2020 and blah blah blah. And when you look at the people that are like us, me and you, that are, you know, middle class, not white, not privileged, the majority of them don't have the what do you call it, like
resources,
not even resources, just the freedom, or just the shit is not good enough for them to be like, oh, I'm gonna wave the flag around. Like that's all they gotta worry about.
The
like
pride.
It's not there for the majority of people, and I feel like the people that
exactly. Half America is
represents
half America
like
doesn't have that American full
like
advantage,
a privilege.
Yeah,
to be able to.
Because literally half of the southern states.
When I'm riding around with my family on the bikes, all the houses that have Trump shit in front of them have big ass American flags all over.
So
just a coincidence. It's like they've tied.
And then,
it's like
that's what I'm saying. Then you look at
if you're American, you have to love Trump.
Exactly. And then if you have a Biden, like if you see the Biden sign stuff, there's no American flags in front of those freaking houses.
Right.
It's kind of sad. I'm like, what's going on?
Because
that's what I keep saying. Like,
that's what I'm saying. The tie is not to the people. The tie is to the flag, and to the land. It's not to. They don't have a connection to their neighbors. Because there's no way you can have a connection to your neighbor and be like, oh man, fuck them kids. Why am I paying taxes to feed them kids that can't afford food?
Yeah, America is just such a fucking weird place, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I've traveled the world, bro, and I'll tell you, like we believe.
I use the bathroom.
I know you got it, Justin. Take your headset off, please. Nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody want to hear that shit.
Yeah,
but I'm still gonna kick some real shit though, Justin. When you come back, you'll listen. America's the only place in the world where we fight for the things that we don't want anymore, but we don't give a fuck about the things that we're losing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everybody's fighting because these are immigrants, right? They're so-called immigrants. These Mexicans come to take these jobs, What
right.
jobs?
The ones they don't want.
Field workers,
the ones they don't want.
The shit nobody really does anymore. Nobody wants to do that shit.
Do it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then at the same time, they criminalize people who speak out and protest, destroying First Amendment speech, destroying your ability to complain, destroying your ability to change things.
Right.
You know, and that's what the Department of Homeland Security is doing. That's what they're doing with this war on terror. They're using all these powers basically attack us, you know. So when I think now about Trump, so what all these people are doing, what we can see, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it. People talk about I've heard the term dog whistle, but let me just say it. I'm glad I didn't think we were gonna get here, bro. but what a platform for this, right? So here's what's going on, right? You're talking about dog whistling. This is what Trump does. Trump speaks to white racists. If you, I mean, if you like, certain like codes, you can like. There used to be like what's that video game? You used to put the thing on the screen, right? And then it was like different games. You could see what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
That's if you could have one of those for Trump every time Trump is talking. This is what you would say. You'd be like, don't listen to anything the fuck he's saying. Just watch his hands and try to understand what he's meaning, what he's going at. Because that's what he's saying. When he says to people bad hombres, or when he says to people fucking, when he says, what the fuck they say, bad Muslim countries, sides. Whatever it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, bad Muslim.
Like he's not saying I don't fuck with Muslims. What he's saying is I'm listening to the white people. This is what the white people want. Okay, do you guys hear me? And they go yes. So it doesn't even matter. People are comparing his speeches to like Obama's and Bush. None of that fucking matters, bro. What matters is like how many white races is he connecting with. Stand back and stand down and stand by.
Yeah.
Bro, that was no fucking accident, bro.
Dude, I don't know if you saw it. You probably didn't. You're not on Twitter as much as I am, but PlayStation posted this. Let me see if I can get it up here. Matter of fact, PlayStation posted this new theme for the PlayStation 4. It's a Black Lives Matter theme.
Oh, what?
Yeah. The official PlayStation Twitter account posted it. They said, hey guys, we're releasing an official Black Lives Matter theme on the PlayStation Store today for free. You can download it. Wow. Show your support for the Black Lives Matter movement.
How about that?
And the amount of hate in the comments
I'm seeing it here
was unbelievable, bro.
What happened?
So,
did you wash your hands, Jesse?
I was just telling them, Jesse, about the official PlayStation account on Twitter. They released the theme for the Black Lives Matter PS4 theme.
Yeah.
And
hold on.
Let me pull up some comments because I was.
They were to bring it back full circle, Shado.
Bro, so I'm clicking this. They posted it. They posted this today around 12, and it has 11.5k retweets, 7.1k quote tweets, 63k likes, and I don't even know how many comments. But I'm gonna read a few of them for you. Alright. Thank you for helping me figure out which console to buy. I've been trying to decide what console to buy because I can only afford one. And as far as I know, Xbox hasn't shown any support for Black Lives Matter. So it looks like I'm going to be the proud owner of a new Xbox when I save enough money.
Wow.
Thank you for making my decision so easy, PlayStation. Xbox Series X it is. Yeah, no thanks. No politics in my video games, please. Yup, you just lost me. All my PS4s are now just boxes of junk to me. I don't support terrorist groups, or those who do. So just like Coke, Pepsi, and a whole host of others, PlayStation will lose a loyal customer they've had for years over political bullshit. Looks like the PS4 is the last PlayStation I will buy. It's sad. I've sensed it coming since the beginning. I've been a huge PlayStation fan and customer since day one with PS1 and up to PS4, but this pathetic virtue signaling caused me to cancel my PS5 pre-order and instead pre-order the Xbox Series X. What's next? An Antifa-themed limited edition PS5? Keep the politics out of our video games. That shit right there, man, in a nutshell.
I'm seeing something. Is it true that Xbox posted this "We Stand Together" thing?
Yeah. So this that one was from a couple. Yeah, that was from a while ago. So I want to say probably like a month and a half ago, when PlayStation was supposed to have their event, they canceled the event because it was the same week that George Floyd got killed, got murdered. So they canceled their event and they posted something saying, we don't feel like it's the right time to have an event, blah blah blah. Black Lives Matter. We stand and support the family of George Floyd, whatever. So Xbox tweeted out, "We stand and support." So. But this one right there, they just released today, and this is something that showed me the true colors of this country. People think that somebody fighting for equality and not to be killed by the police at random is political. They say don't involve politics in my video games. To them, it's political for somebody else to be treated as a human. It's not a human right. They're looking at it as a political take. And a lot of people that are anti-Black Lives Matter have that same sentiment. And I can't understand that shit. Doesn't make sense to me. What's political about that?
So much of our country seems like it's close. You know what I'm saying? But if you take a flight to Cali, it'll take you 8 hours. And that's modern flights. You know what I'm saying? We got to remember, like, we're distant in this country. We're very
geographically. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're in Florida, you're down south, bro. Like, I want to see you, bro. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get down there. And the truth is, we gotta stop thinking that we're all one unified people. That's not what we are.
No, I don't think that at all.
No, what I think we're seeing now though is that it's becoming more available to be racist. You know what I'm saying? That's what Trump did. It's more acceptable. You know what I'm saying? It's acceptable for somebody to say this. Like, there's a guy I was looking at the retweets of one guy. He blocked everybody who made a negative comment on the tweet. Yeah,
I was like, thanks for making it easy for me.
Exactly. So I'm like, maybe this will be like the racist free platform. I would love that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with that.
Nice. The problem is they always say that shit. So like last couple years, they were like, I'm not gonna watch the NFL because players are kneeling, blah blah blah. And NFL has had their highest ratings over the past couple years. Well, I'm not gonna get an PlayStation. I'm gonna get an Xbox.
Good.
PlayStation is gonna go ahead and sell millions of freaking, whatever.
Still didn't get my pre-order yet. Shit, drop off. I hope you drop it.
Yeah. Let 100,000 of them leave. So it could
honestly, PlayStation would be good to double down and just put another tweet out and be like,
I think they. I think they will. I think they are. They're not an American company. Number one, Japanese. And then even then, I think. Now, I did have a problem with a few months ago where it feel like a lot of these companies were just hopping on kind of like a marketing thing to be like,
the Nike did that shit. Yeah,
this is a movement happening right now. Let's get some support for our products, type thing. But for PlayStation to do this randomly on a Monday, at 12 noon when nothing happened, today, that shows me that they're actually sticking with the words that they're speaking. They're not just doing it just for,
Now, this is the funniest one. They got a picture of Drake with do-rag related, and it says, the racists are in this thread crying over an optional theme.
Yes.
It's just like What's wrong with y'all?
Then look at the one right below it. The dude says, "Hey, to all the racists crying in the comments about how you're not getting the PS5 because of the theme, hurry up and cancel your pre-order so there'll be no delays in getting mine."
Yo, for real. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, man.
Fuck out of here.
But
But I didn't know it was that serious. Like I didn't know he was gonna take it like that. I didn't look.
Yeah.
I seen the thing up there. I was like, all right, we got Black Lives Matter thing. All right, cool.
That's the crazy part. It's
and stuff like that. I didn't expect there was gonna be that much feedback from that.
Right. You don't have to download it.
Exactly. You don't have to download it.
This is what's happening. Let me tell you what's happening.
There's not just.
This is a chance.
And then it's like.
This is a chance for the racists to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show everybody how much I hate Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
it's like most people, if it don't apply, let it fly. It's like, oh,
every chance they get.
A racist guy be like, no, this is wrong.
Exactly, that's what it is.
Why you gotta prove yourself that this, that, and the third?
The shoe fits, man.
Like just say I'm a racist. You could sit there and say I'm a proud racist person.
Nah, you know what the funniest
this,
part
that, and the
is?
third, and stuff like that. Like confess like a alcoholic confess to a freaking AA meeting, son. Just throw out in the open. Just like come out.
Right.
Just let it all out. That way we can sit there and like you can learn how to grow from that point forward, son.
The
we can help
thing to
you.
me is we've gotten to the point where these racists feel like upset.
It's okay to be a racist.
No, they feel upset when they get outed as racist. Like if they get called racist, it's more derogatory to call them racist than the fact that they just called you a nigger.
Exactly.
How dare you call me racist? I only called you a nigger. What the fuck?
Fragility. That's what it is. White fragility.
Yeah.
When they feel as though their harm is more harmful than the actual
harm that they're doing. Yeah. Yeah, you get called out, and then it's, oh my god, you're hurting my feelings. You're calling me what I am.
It's a self-defense mechanism for victimization. So, a lot of people who grew up entitled. I mean, I see this shit all the time. I mean, it's cool because a lot of girls in New York now understand what's going on. You guys in New York understand what's going on. You've worked on it. It's really cool to see like real white allies who get it. But there's a lot of girls out there who don't understand because they've been brought up in privilege their whole life. They've never done anything wrong technically to anybody. Don't they do all these things? Then they encounter a situation where they're using white privilege and it's being taken away from them. And now they have to be exposed to the truth, which is they're inherently, just by the system, given an advantage. They feel such ultimate guilt by it. Like, oh, I can't do anything. I didn't do it.
I saw this, it was a meme, but it was a picture, like, facts on it of this judge in Texas. And it listed, like, all these cases that he overruled, that he saw over. And
showed the
comparisons for similar crimes between black kids and black men to white men and white kids, and the number of time that each one of them got. And the difference was just, dude, I think for the one that I remember that stuck in my head was like, it was like a misdemeanor theft or some shit, man. The one kid got like 5 months, and the black kid got 12 years. Then I just read an article a couple of weeks ago about this black guy. He's 63 years old now. He just got out on parole. He got sentenced to life in prison because he stole some damn hedges, some shears.
Yeah, he just got released.
Yeah, life in prison for stealing some fucking hedges.
And he just got released.
And that's really what the protest is about, bro. The protest is about not being held accountable for the blatant bullshit, bro.
it's
That's what it's about.
equality. That's what people. It's
And
not. It's not saying hey,
white people.
if a black person commits a
White
crime, they
people don't
can't
wanna
be
held
charged.
accountable.
It's not saying hey, if somebody, you know, if I go out and shoot somebody, then I shouldn't be held accountable for it. It's saying hey, bro, why is this guy getting life in prison for stealing some fucking oversized scissors? Then a white kid can go rape a girl, beat her up, leave her to die behind a dumpster, and get 30 days community service because he was going to Yale.
Exactly.
And the judge said he didn't want to jeopardize this young man's future. He raped a girl and left her to die behind a dumpster. And he doesn't want to jeopardize his future.
No, what he meant to say was
that person should have their future jeopardized immediately and sentences to fucking life in prison. Those people should be putting away, Mr. Judge, not fucking the other way around.
Ridiculous.
Like, you just saved this young man's life by not fucking putting him in prison, and then look at this young girl and her family and just spat in their face.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go to prison at that, on top of that.
You
just for being the fucking judge that gave that fucking...
Young black kids going to jail for years underage because they steal some candy from the store. And you have old white dudes on Wall Street robbing old people of their savings and their retirement money. And these motherfuckers get to just retire. Oh, well, you know, he got him caught embezzling X amount of millions of dollars. Or he got retired from the company.
Or he get off on snuff films and freaking beating women to death and whatever like that. Son, I swear to God, son. Ooh.
Listen, so a lot of times
it's not 21 yet.
what we see, and this is where, you know, we go back to white fragility, right? It's talking about racism has real consequences for white people. So we see black people as inherently dangerous. They see black people as inherently dangerous. So they accept these higher sentences, like, oh yeah, that's okay. But then we say, yo, wait a second, this is all fucked up, and they go, wait, what? No, this can't be related to anything. This is what it is, you know. So a lot of times when we see the results, it all comes back down to the same thing, which is income inequality. Because besides racism, if that black kid had a private attorney, situation changes. You know, opportunities change. A lot of times these Yale kids, it's not just racism there. It's fucking...
It helps, you know, but it's not the only...
Lawyers.
Yeah, man, it's a goddamn shame, bro. It's a fucking shame.
But you know what I do feel overall, and it's important, you know, to probably end it on this note. Are we still doing PUBG? Are we still doing some PUBG?
I can probably get like 2 matches in. I'm not gonna stream though. I'm just gonna, cause I ain't sitting right now.
I'm gonna feel on freaking follow. These niggas trying to contact me now.
It's important to end on this note. I'm hopeful for the country. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a dark spot between now and 2035 because, you know, the recession is gonna hit about 2030.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. I keep saying that, son. Everybody think it's gonna be a good future, son. From 2021 to 2035, it's gonna be a nice.
Yes.
It's gonna be a roller coaster. It's gonna be up, down, up, down. It's gonna be mixed.
But between now and then,
it's gonna be.
But between now and then, it's gonna be good. It's actually gonna be good. I mean, you just gotta get away from
all I can say is just prepare your kids for a bright future and a lesser future. You gotta basically find the balance in that
this
shit.
This is one of the reasons why the country doesn't go anywhere, because Obama came in and inherited fucking garbage ass country, economy, all that shit, all these wars, all that shit. He fixed it. Trump rode 2-3 years of that good shit, and what's gonna end up now is just everything's fucked up again. If Biden and them get in, they're gonna have to fix all this shit. It's gonna take time, but it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And the problem's gonna be that by the time they're done trying to fix and implement all their stuff in order for it to get better, people are gonna be like, man, shit is so bad, it's their fault. Not knowing that the seed is already planted right now for what's gonna happen in the next couple of years. People have this thought that once a new president takes over, all of a sudden everything's supposed to snap and just
into place, yeah.
You know, fucking become rosy and perfect. That shit takes years and time, and it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get worse, especially this fucking pandemic shit doesn't get under control, bro.
Yo, and what about
It's
this
what I'm
fucking
saying, like-
vaccine?
Oh, that's sterilization, son.
Vaccine. You know, Jesse, you used to say that they're gonna sterilize us with the vaccine. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to laugh behind your back. I always thought you were like hitting this shit too hard. Well, you know what, bro? The other day I watched the Secretary of Health, who was basically the mouthpiece of Trump, tout this fucking vaccine like it was the savior, the God's gift to man. And I was like, I'm not taking that shit. No fucking way.
No.
I couldn't believe it. It was the first time I was like, you know, I think the majority.
Son, keep telling you, like, they're trying to do population control.
Don't take the fucking
If that's not going to be the vaccine that basically sterilizes all humans, it's going to do something to us even worse, son. It's going to create a new disease.
And when Trump wins, it's going to be very, very low.
It doesn't even have to be Trump. It's going to be either one party. It's like it depends on where they distributed it, son. I'm telling you right now.
And the way
they're going to force it upon
the
us,
speed at what they made it, and the way they're making it, like it's like if somebody who got like a reputation of fucking shit up,
like I said, they're already trying to start with the kids. Like they're basically like, you remember how we, son, literally remember how when we was going to the school when we was like in elementary school, and we literally had to go to school, and it was like, you can't come to school without the hepatitis B shot, the this shot, or whatever like that marked on your card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same. If they don't do that, it has to be that way, or they're gonna basically just set them like, oh, you can't come to school without, you know, you can't come to work, or you can't come do this and stuff like that without having no shots taken. And nobody got those shots taken.
When Trump wins, nobody is taking this fucking vaccine, which means everybody is basically gonna want to catch the coronavirus.
Yeah.
There's this movie has been made about this shit. It's called I Am Legend, nigga. That's what the fuck is gonna happen. That shit's gonna have some kind of adverse effect.
Bro, that vaccine, I read a report. I don't know if I'm tripping because I be reading shit late at night, but I could have swore it said it made a random abscess in the person's flesh.
I don't know.
Did y'all see this?
I know the one with Johnson & Johnson. They said there was some illness, but they didn't clarify what it was. They just said the test subject had an illness, some adverse effect to it, but I don't know if it was something with their skin or whatever it was.
I mean, I don't want to spread misinformation.
It's just the situation.
I don't want to spread the misinformation.
It's one of those things where the thing people need to do, they're not doing. It's wear a fucking mask. Don't go out fucking partying and shit in public and not wearing a mask, and, you know, stay the fuck at home, man. Stay the fuck at home. Keep your circles small. If you're going out, put a goddamn mask on. It's not that hard.
I was gonna turn up for Halloween too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna turn up for Halloween. I was gonna turn up so fucking hard.
Nah, man.
You're right. I'm being responsible.
Yeah. It's the thing about it is, this thing is just one of those. The thing that makes it so horrible is that you can't see it. Not everybody. When people get the flu, you got headaches and you're coughing and you feel like you're about to fucking die. But people will have that shit and not feel a goddamn thing. That's what the problem is. Everybody feels like everybody's fine right now. Oh, I feel fine. I'm good. I don't have this shit. And they go out, they go socializing and partying and shit, and they spreading this shit. That's the problem with it, man. Until
they're not going getting tested and nothing like
yeah,
that.
the
Because
thing is,
basically, like,
nobody's you're not. I haven't been tested.
everybody
I haven't
fears the
felt
worst.
anything. I haven't been tested. Have you been tested?
Nope. I could have got tested.
Nobody's
Like,
been tested.
They have
Yeah.
testing at my job, but I just
Right, but you don't do it because you haven't felt shit.
yeah.
You know, we haven't felt anything, so we're not. Why would you go get tested? You haven't felt any effects, but with this virus, you don't feel shit, but you can still be a host that can spread.
Exactly. That's
the problem.
it's the whole man. I think that's what the man mentality is. Because especially as a black man, we don't feel internally. Yeah, we basically say we can have all types of diseases. We don't feel it and be like, oh, we perfectly fine. We will never go get tested, go get checked up, see whatever like that. Because we don't trust doctors, so we like, oh, we just gonna keep going, whatever like that.
There's
Won't get a
reason
prostate
why we
exam
don't
for the life
trust
of.
doctors, man. They don't take care of us. No,
That's
a real
true.
thing,
That's
know?
right.
Yeah.
Black people
Like, 'cause
go to the
my
hospital all
even-
the time and end up fucking dead for some shit that wasn't even that serious in the first place.
Exactly. It's
So-
like, you're going to get your car changed and they find a whole 10,000 problems and you just go in there for one problem. So
There was actually a report done that black children died, black babies died more in white doctors' custody.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah, black moms die at an alarming rate compared to white moms with giving birth. It's it's just this country's fucked, man. What the fuck ever. Alright.
It's not made for us.
Hour and 48 minutes. We veered off the beaten path.
I like how you
I'm
brought
saying
us
that,
back
like,
with that.
you're going to have to
routine,
cut
though.
half of
That's
this
good.
shit off.
No, I'm not.
That's
The
like-
crazy thing is my editing software has been acting up. So a lot of shit, all the PUBG stuff we did last week, I've been trying to edit it, but my shit keeps crashing. I gotta jump in with some more tomorrow, figure it out, or at least get some new software. But
Live is better, bro. Live, you just leave it.
yeah, I
there,
don't mind
you know
doing
what
it
I'm
live. You know, it is what it is. We don't need to edit anything. You know, folks are gonna get it raw.
That's what it's
Like on
about.
this damn game.
I'm copying that link to that.
Yeah, I see it, New Yorker.
I don't know why. I mean, I just want people to see the state of events in America right now.
Yeah, that
2020 was a
PlayStation,
divided year. Divided like this.
I never seen
Oh,
it that
shit.
bad, man. This shit was bad, and I think it's gonna take forever before it. I don't think it's ever gonna go back. Before, I think like politically, people would like keep their mouth shut about shit and like be like, kind of reserved and private about it. But I think it's just too far gone now. I think Biden gets elected, Trump, whoever gets elected, that shit is just gonna be anarchy for. It's just gonna be to the point where people are just gonna. It's gonna be tribalism.
Yeah, it's like
man.
it's
Tribalism is gonna be I'm Democrat, I'm Republican, fuck you, I don't wanna hear anything you have to say. From it's
I mean, to be honest with you, if Biden's able to win, he would have stolen it. To be honest with you, so if it happens, it's gonna be war. There's gonna be war, and then the alternative is.
I don't think so because in from what I'm reading, the number of people that have registered to vote this year and that have gone out to vote early, they said that shit is at record levels. And I think that was the one positive I said about the whole Trump situation. I said, this motherfucker is so terrible. He's gonna force people to realize, damn, I can't just sit back and just be like, oh well, everybody else will vote and do the right thing. I think especially in the black community and poorer folks and people a little less well off, they're kind of realizing you need to fucking speak up. Well, because last time, man, with Hillary, they were all like, oh, well, there's a 90% chance of her winning. There's no way Trump will win. And then look how many people showed up to vote. Not even a third of the country. Not even a third of the country showed up.
All right, so let's walk through it. Let's go through it step by step. Jesse, you just keep playing whatever you play. All right, so let's say hypothetically Trump wins. No, I'm sorry. Let me not even start with that. First of all, let's take it from the day of the election, November 3rd. Everybody votes. Let's say in the voting sector with the actual counting votes that night, Biden wins. Biden wins on the reported polls. Okay, there's still 100 million or whatever votes to be counted, tallied, and everything. Especially in those swing states like Florida and Minnesota, places like that. Day 3 after the election, November 3rd, November 4th, November 5th, November 6th, there's still no results. Trump is still in power.
He's going to say that he won.
Can we see that?
Yeah, he's going to say that he won. He's going to say,
there's already people sabotaging boxes and ballots and shit like that. They already sabotaging everything.
That shit is see, that's the problem I have with that shit, man, because every time there's voting, to some degree, some ballots get lost, some shit happens, shit gets damaged, whatever. But the fact that this man, since January, has been planting this seed of, there's going to be fraud.
He actively had the Postal Service shut down.
From January 1st, this is going to happen. There's going to be fraud. There's going to be mail-in fraud. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. People are going to vote twice. People are going to do this. They're using dead people's names. Immigrants are going to vote. People without citizenship are going to vote. Blah, blah, blah. He's been planting all these seeds in people's heads that all this shit is going to happen. And come election night, that's what's going to be what he's going to go back to. Especially if the numbers are lopsided, because I don't think that shit is going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be either tilted completely towards Trump or tilted completely towards Biden. It's not going to be like between him and Hillary where she got 63 million and he got 60 million. It's going to be 100 million to like 40 mil or something like that. It's going to be decisive. But in the case that 100 mil goes to Biden, he's going to say, there's no way. Look at the history of our country. It's never been this lopsided. This is what I was telling you guys about since January. This is fraud.
I think it's bigger than that, bro. I think the government and the people and the media are going to get together and they're going to say, we can't have a civil war. We got to have it this way. And
they're going to say that, but if he loses, and you already know how he does, because they're going to ask him. The media is going to be like, they're going to ask him, your supporters are angry, do you have anything to say to them? Will you accept their election results? Blah. He's going to say that he doesn't believe it, and that the people should speak up or the people should do something to, and that's when those fucking crazy nuts are gonna
listen. The reality TV universe suggests that the opportunity for Trump to make a big outcry, he will take it.
Yeah, that's what his whole presidency has been. Every opportunity he's had to calm shit down, he's done the opposite. Throw gas on the fire.
This is no strange playbook. He's been doing this since the beginning. So now he has the opportunity to say that there's the system and it's against him and you have to do something about it. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, that's the dog whistle we talk about there. To say understand what I mean, not what I say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So then he goes He actually already said this. He said, "Go to the polls." He basically
told them, yeah, go watch the polls. And again, it's one of those crazy things that he said, and it just got swept under the rug because he does so much other outlandish shit. Yeah. What are we gonna do?
We're
PS5 soon come.
Well, Black Lives Matter. Thank you, PS5. I appreciate that.
Shout out Sony. Shout out PlayStation and Xbox for having their back. Black Lives Matter.
Right.
We in here. Fresh Talk Gaming Podcast. It was a long one. Appreciate folks that stopped by. Catch you guys maybe sometime during the week or on the weekend. Peace out, everybody.
Las Padania.
Yuts, holla at me. Pringles, holla